Well, looks like we are all finally joining the conversation around immigration. Now, on this channel, we definitely read the unsafe blog, which talks about immigration, I don't know, all the time, every single day, really. And now everyone is finally joining the conversation. Now, I'm going to give my 2 cents here. I think that, first of all, American infrastructure is broken. We don't have the roads. We don't have any affordable housing. There's barely any affordable places to live in the country. And, we don't have the space. People who are immigrating here are not immigrating as single, educated people who want to conform to Christianity and participate in American culture. If you watch, I will link some of the response videos below, but many of the immigrants were specifically talking about the Latino immigrants who are coming across the Mexican border into, looks like Texas or El Paso. They're coming and they're moving into these small ass towns that are completely off of the grid. They're like these trailer home type spaces where people speak only Spanish. They don't speak any English. They're basically like Native American reservation camps. And if you've heard some of the numbers that people have been sharing with you guys today, it looks like in the last year and a half, 11 million immigrants have come across the border illegally. The border is currently open. The border is open. So wherever you are in the world at this point, what you should do is just make your way over to the Mexican border and come right in. You could go live right up here with Sarah the crackhead. She'd be out here every day. People's Park is open. You can live there. All of downtown Oakland is available. You can go join Bob the crackhead right at Lake Merritt. There's 2 tent encampments down the street. Maybe I'll make a map. There's so much space for you to come. So come on over. California would love to have you. Personally, I'm going to take my black ass. See, I think I put my passport somewhere over there. We don't need this motherfucker anymore. It means nothing. It means nothing to be a citizen of the United States. There are absolutely no privileges. This is now an open state. Literally, you could be working at McDonald's today. Tomorrow, Jorge from Tijuana could come, snatch your job right away. You could be a waitress at Denny's today. Tomorrow, Lupita from Venezuela come with her 17 children, snatch your job right away. No need to try. Who has the time? Really, someone explain to me, who has the time? I'm looking out there for you. Who wants to deal with this shit? That's a lot of fucking people. We already have a ridiculous number of homeless people in America. We have so many homeless people already in America. You've got to be fucking kidding me if you really truly believe that we have the space for more. We don't. We for real don't. Bro, we don't. And there's so many of them coming. I think, I actually empathize with Mark Andreessen, who's saying I don't want public multi-unit family houses here. This is another reason why I'm really highly encouraging Black women, just really learn how to take care of yourself. Because it is actually there. It's sad for a number of reasons. So a lot of you guys have been reading about, what did they call it? sex tourism, right? Many American men have been participating in sex tourism. They've been doing it all through Latin America, all through Asia. And now, guess who's coming to work here? The same women that they've been traveling abroad to pay for prostitution. Now those women are right here. They'll be trotting across Martha's Vineyard. They'll be at the Vineyard, the winery, Tuesday. They're on a plane near you. So, man, I could only say you should just take care of yourself. All you can do is just worry about yourself, and there are greener pastures. Okay, like there are countries who still operate like actual countries. Africa is still a continent that does exist with 54 countries, and I, as one individual, plan to take my black ass back there because I'm sorry, I have not got the time for these problems. It's ridiculous. Every single day it gets worse. Every single day. And we're all here, and it's like we're all forced to participate. And it's just like, whatever people knew of America is so dead. It's so gone. The country has to do something with all of 11 million new undocumented immigrants who are mostly Hispanic. We got to do something with them. They're not all going to become doctors and lawyers or engineers. They're going to be more brown, poor people living in trailer homes who just do nothing. They just, like, they're never going to, like, learn proper English or, like, anything, really. And, you can say what you want to say, but the rap music and the pop music, all of the other things are influencing an entire culture, an entire generation, really. And some kind of way these people have to, like, be in society. I certainly won't be living around them. I don't know. I don't really have more to say about it than that, actually. Like, it's just like to separate myself as a brown. I'm not Latino in any way. I have nothing to do with the immigration story. I'm sorry, but I'm anti-immigrant. I've said it once. I'll say it a million times. Like, this is not the space for the pro-immigration open border movement. I do not support that. As a black, as a black, I mean, I'm kind of joking. I'm also kind of not joking. I'm hella serious. Like, those aren't my problems. Like, I'm not. We not. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, I think that more people just really think about the lack of infrastructure that we already have. I mean, that's the most important part. Right now, our infrastructure system is just, it's so bad. Like, we're failing on so many fronts. Like, we have so little. So, Like, how do we have more to give to someone else? Like, we just don't. We just don't. And it's so strange. It's so strange. Like, it's so strange. I don't know. This is capitalism, and like, everyone has to play their part. Like, it's mandatory that everyone play their part, because if everyone does not play their part, it all falls apart. And there's this big idea that because the media and propaganda has put this image out of all Americans being super rich, and there's this idea of what rich looks like and what rich feels like, that we have gotten away from what just being middle class looks like and what just being middle class feels like. Most Americans are just middle class. Like, they're not rich at all. And if a lot of these people who are immigrating over kind of understood that, then they too would be able to be like really middle class. But they don't understand that. And so, like, they are not. They're just not. They're not. And they, unfortunately, like, they most likely won't be, because like the ability to think critically, the ability to problem solve, the ability to like innovate, create, it isn't there. It isn't there. And there's so many people who have a need, right? Like, so many people with a need. And everyone, unfortunately, is not going to be served. There are a lot of people who historically have been in America who have not been served. That is the untold story of American failure. Like, we love to highlight American success, and there are a lot of stories of American success, so I'm not taking anything away from that narrative, but there are also a lot of stories of American failure. And we have to be like just as honest about American failure as we have been about American success. Like, both need to be given the same amount of weight, and both stories need to be taken seriously. Both stories. I also think we probably need to have, we need to define things just a lot greater, because I feel like a lot of people are using these terms: immigrant, black person, Hispanic person, engineer, you know. And like, I was looking on LinkedIn today, and I saw there were all these graduates from some school in India. They don't hold the same weight, right? There's some school. And it was just like everyone had the exact same profile. Like, people have just, you know, copied and pasted what someone else wrote down on their profile, and then they just pasted it in the bio. So I don't know if this means they've actually had the work experience and they've actually done the thing that they said they did. I don't know, but like, everyone didn't have an internship at Google. They're kind of like really hard to get. Like, everyone didn't have a whatever. Like, a few people get it, and like the few people who do tend to move forward. I think this is where another part of like the American racism breaks the system. And we've kind of seen this coming for a while, but now I feel like it's just really here on full screen, on full blast, and it's like a real problem. Because when you have people like American citizens who are extremely skilled, extremely talented, but they're actually not recruited for certain roles and to take certain positions, there are other people who have to fill those spots, right? And with those spots come like coveted benefits, network effects, all of these things. And if you give it to some underqualified white guy and you don't give it to that overqualified black guy, What happens is like that black guy with all of that education and all of that prestige, he has to go like somewhere in society. Where does he go? What does he do? I don't know. So that's talent that's wasted. Now that story is very common here. Unfortunately, there are so many ways that that black talent could have been used to solve a real issue, because America's got a lot of problems. As you see, like, no one can fucking figure out the border. I also have got to say, like, given just how disastrous the immigration policy has been, I really truly feel that the Democrats have forfeited their place in all coming elections. Like, it's gotten so out of hand that, like, I mean, I don't see a Democrat being elected in office for a while. Like, it's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. And I've been saying it for a while. I feel like it's always that. It's like I say something to you guys. Nobody takes me seriously. 2 years later, it like rears its nasty head. Like, I've been talking about anti-black racism for how long? Then I talked about this in one of the second videos I made about Yashahidi being Tinkerbell. Wait until the whites find out that Tinkerbell is black. Oh my God, they're gonna lose their fucking shit. They are gonna start jumping off of bridges and burning shit. It's gonna be like the January 6th hearing. I mean, white dudes are gonna lose their shit. I mean, they're gonna start burning shit down. So, all I could say is, like, hide your wife, hide your kids. They're coming to burn your shit down. They hate diversity more than they hate immigrants. Like, immigrants over diversity. Doesn't really make any sense, but that's kind of, I don't know. And then it's also very strange too, because like the diversity is like false diversity. You know what I'm saying? Like there's all these stories. Like we don't talk about Bruno. I haven't seen that movie, but from what I understand, it's about some kid of color or something. Some movie about. There's all these like TV shows and movies and shit that's about people of color, Hispanic people. There's so many of them, and so many of them lack all of context. Is so important, bro. Like, you actually need to have something in the real world that you can pull from to like tie it together with what you see in the movie in order to like make meaning out of it. You can't just like pull meaning from the sky. Like, just watching a movie, if you don't understand what you're seeing, it like doesn't make sense. This is another reason why sometimes you have to watch certain films like more than one time in order for it to make sense. Like, just watching it one time, it just doesn't really do anything, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. It's all nuts. It's nuts.